What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel as usual, and I wanted to say that this next project that I'm doing is going to be a pretty long project. I'm really excited about this one. I've been putting a lot of thought into it, and I've been putting a lot of time and effort into it as well. For you guys, for the viewers, I haven't really seen much of these, so I just wanted to make this project and tell me what you guys think about it, okay? So this is going to be the top 10 1960s top 10 horror films, okay? So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so coming in at number 10, this movie was made in 1960, and it starred Barbara Steele, and this was an Italian horror film, and it has kind of a low budget, low effects for a 1960s horror film. I mean, that's something that you kind of have to expect with these kind of films because they're not going to have the things that we're used to as well. And this movie actually really wasn't, it was okay. It really wasn't bad for what it was made back then. So a lot of the characters were, they weren't, very educated on as far as, what to do and what not to do in the kind of situation that they were put in. So, I mean, the movie was tolerable. I wouldn't say it wasn't bad. It was definitely, something that deserved to be a top 10, but definitely not, anything to be, a top 5 or a top number 1 spot. So, coming in at number 10 is 1960s, starring Barbara Steele, Black Sunday.
Horror, anguish, and terror are powerful words, but more than words, the chill language of living images shows that the mask of Satan is a picture of unparalleled emotion. It holds a tale of a strange, dark fascination set in a spine-chilling atmosphere of fear.
Demon. It's death! I've just seen death! She's breathing. We're in the presence of some unnatural mystery. Your father. My blood is no longer your blood. The spirits of evil have rendered that tie between us forever, and an accursed poison flows in your veins.
Suspense and the unexpected combine to create an impression beyond any imagination of an indescribable fantasy coupled with an unmentionable reality.
But it's impossible, Father. He moved, even spoke to me. Then he ran away.
Sometimes Satan, with his capacity for doing evil, even plays tricks with the dead.
All right, now coming in at number 9. This movie was actually pretty short for how good of a storyline it was. And storyline, I mean a storyline by one back then. This movie only ran like 77 minutes, so really it wasn't that, it wasn't short, but it wasn't very long either. And the village that it takes place in, I mean, really, like, these guys could have honestly put up a better fight with the people that try to take over the village, and probably could have done a little bit better research on how to take back what was theirs. So the pace actually of the storyline goes at a pretty good rate, I would have to say. I really wouldn't recommend this film if you're not really into black and white films. It would probably be kind of hard to latch onto. You probably might end up losing interest in it as well. So, but it does actually catch on to the people that do enjoy these classic horror films, and they're not for everybody, but they are for certain people. So, coming in at number 9, Village of the Damned.
Science fiction has never imagined so strange or terrifying a story as that of the village of Midwich, England, cut off from life as we know it by some mysterious force. And later, at one and the same time, a child was born to every woman in the village. Children that grew to look like this. Beautiful youngsters behind whose fiery, hypnotic eyes lurked the demon forces of another world.
They're not human. They ought to be destroyed.
Forces put to such sinister use that it became a national emergency.
We are gathered here as advisors, as scientists, as government experts.
Have we established anything about the origins of these children?
There is the possibility of the transmission of energy.
Let me get this straight. You imply that these children may be the result of impulses directed towards us from somewhere in the universe.
What we need is time to investigate.
Are you aware of life on another planet? Why are you so nervous when an aircraft flies above you?
Until recently, we haven't been able to make our control reach as far as a high aircraft.
Oh, now you have, is that it?
Today, their control reaches out into space. Tomorrow, will it girdle the globe?
There's nothing you can do to stop us. Leave us alone.
Okay, so coming in at number 8. This movie wasn't made for American television, and the main actor in this film, Max von Sydow, was actually the old priest in the 1973 Exorcist. And in The Exorcist, he's actually portrayed as, somebody who's old, but actually he was very young in the Exorcist movie. And even in this film here, he was very young as well. And this movie wasn't made for American television. It actually has English subtitles, and for what I'm tracking, it probably has like either Norwegian or Swedish subtitle, or English subtitles for the Swedish language. The scenes of when Max was normal happened pretty quickly, so you have to actually watch this movie from start to end without any interruptions. It's very hard to latch onto. You will get confused very easily if you try and watch it from the middle, or even miss the first couple of scenes in the beginning with the interview. And like with the dinner scene and with the scene from his wife reading the diary, you really have to pay attention with this, and you kind of catch the drift of that. Max is he's a schizophrenic, and these people that live in the castle represent his multiple personalities. And that was my guess in this film. And honestly, it was something I would highly recommend if you were very into that thing. I really wouldn't relate it to other schizophrenic films, classic films, or even current films, but this film was actually very well put together, of his back memories, of his current situations that were going on. So for number 8, this movie, Hour of the Wolf.
The hour of the wolf is the hour between night and dawn. It is the hour when most people die, when sleep is deepest, when nightmares are most real. It is the hour when the sleepless are haunted by their deepest fear, when ghosts and demons are most powerful. The hour of the wolf is also the hour when most children are born. Hour of the Wolf, the hour in which reality becomes a mockery of madness and masks hide behind faces. The hour of all final moments. In Ingmar Bergman's Hour of the Wolf, a diary of truths and lies like truths.
Okay, now coming in at number 7. This was actually a 1964 sequel, and that we had talked about the previous movie actually in this video here. And this movie here, the kids, probably just gave it away, the kids actually talk a lot less, and they also have different ethnicities. They're also from all over the world, and probably from all over the universe as well. But the ending of this film was actually, I think it was kind of rushed. It was not very well put together, but then again, minds kind of think differently 50 years ago than how minds think now. But it was still back then it was still one of the best horror films that had ever been constructed back in the 1960s. So coming in at number 7, the 1964 sequel, Children of the Damned.
Beware these children. Behind their fiery, hypnotic eyes lurk the demon forces of another world. It's them or us, for these are the children of the damned. Children of the Damned. Even more eerie and startling than the sensational Village of the Damned.
I think they are the cells of man, advanced maybe 1 million years.
Could they actually be creatures from other planets, centuries beyond us scientifically, invading the Earth disguised as children? There's Paul from England, Nina from Russia, Rashid from India, Mi Ling from China, Ago from Nigeria, and Mark from America. Who are they really? As we of the Earth push further and further into space, are they the answer to our probing?
They're not kids! Have you ever seen them laugh, run, play? No, by God, but you've seen them kill.
The ambassadors of all the Earth's nations experience their defiance.
Paul, we must know how to make that machine.
We'd never think of trying to force you, of course.
Theirs is the power of evil, turning friend against friend, hating, killing, yet armed with no weapon you can see or touch. Unless we can learn to live with them, we may cease to live at all. Can any force on Earth stop their fury?
At this very moment, they could be making all those men out there turn their guns on one another.
Okay, now, the next one, this movie had actually really good cinematography, and there was a relationship between the main character and Helen, and their relationship, even though it was established pretty well into the beginning, the relationship was still pretty confusing. I mean, honestly, if you ask me, Helen asked a lot of questions, and it was kind of annoying, like how much into his business that she would try to get, and she really barely knew him, and they really barely knew each other. And honestly, like, Helen kind of, snooped around a little too much. Like, when he wasn't home, she would just come in and just start, going through his shit. And, like, if I were to catch that, I'd be kind of fucking pissed. So, I mean, but really, like, this film, being back then, it was actually had a really good color, really good cinematography, and how courageous, he was for filming these discoveries of when people would, discover the dead bodies. And, like, honestly, like, look at where he was when they went to go and discover that one when she was inside the trunk. I mean, come on, it's like he was just right there and nobody even saw him filming their reactions. So it was really kind of interesting. And so coming in at number 6, Peeping Tom.
Look out! Look out! Look out! Take care. You are being watched. We repeat, take care, for you are now alone with a killer. We warn you, don't let him see the fear in your eyes. For this is what he seeks, and this is why he kills.
Where are you? Where are you?
Look out for Carl Byrne as the Peeping Tom. Fear him, but pity him also.
It's no good.
Watch out for Moira Shearer as the lovely stand-in who innocently dances into danger.
Imagine someone coming towards you who wants to kill you, regardless of consequences.
A madman?
Yes.
Wait!
Anna Massey is the girl who falls victim to the charms of the lonely stranger upstairs.
Switch it off, Mark! Mark, switch it off!
Maxine Audley as the blind woman who senses the danger that threatens her and her daughter, but is helpless.
Don't be frightened.
Not frightened. What? So put that camera away!
There is no future for anyone who tries to befriend him. He invades the privacy of innocent people till the piercing eyes of his camera meet the terrified eyes of his victims. And with a compulsion akin to madness, he shoots the final, fearful scene.
So there you have it. Number 6 through 10 of the top 10 best 1960s horror films. So later on I will be doing numbers 5 through 1. I'm still watching some of these movies now. It's taken me a little bit, but I mean, this is something I'm really, really excited about. Later on I'll be doing top 10 horror films of the 1970s, which I'm really, really excited about. It kind of takes these people down who are down memory lane, who are a little bit older. So I really hope that you guys enjoy. I'll be coming out with a continuation of the top 5 here very shortly, so stay tuned and stay scared.